Karen said Jogger was too close, then tripped them and got caught on video, fined $12,000. The park was alive with the hum of early evening runners weaving through paths, families picnicking, and dogs chasing frisbees. Karen Whitmore, 48, strode through it all, her neon tracksuit a beacon of self-righteousness. She'd always been the one to enforce rules, real or imagined. Today, her eyes locked on Ethan, a 24-year-old jogger, his earbuds blasting as he sprinted past, brushing just a foot from her shoulder. Too close, she thought, her blood boiling. In Karen's world, personal space was sacred, and Ethan had just violated it. She shouted after him, her voice shrill, slicing through the park's calm. 6 feet. You're supposed to stay 6 feet away. Ethan didn't hear, his focus on the rhythm of his steps. Karen's face flushed red. She wasn't just ignored, she felt erased. That's when the idea struck, a spark of vindictive clarity. She'd teach him a lesson. Ethan looped back around the park's winding trail, oblivious to the storm brewing behind him. Karen positioned herself near a narrow bend, her phone propped on a bench, recording. As Ethan approached, she stepped forward, feigning a stumble, and thrust her foot out. Ethan's sneaker caught, and he crashed to the ground, skidding on gravel. His elbow bled, his face contorted in pain and confusion. Karen stood over him, triumphant, her voice dripping with faux concern. You should have stayed back. You could have hurt someone. The crowd gathered fast. Phones emerged, capturing Karen's smug expression and Ethan's dazed recovery. A teenage girl, Mia, pushed through, her camera already rolling. You tripped him, she yelled, her voice trembling with outrage. Karen spun, her confidence faltering. He was too close. He's reckless, she snapped, but the crowd's murmurs grew hostile. Mia uploaded the video instantly, tagging it with Park Karen. Within minutes, it was viral. Ethan, still catching his breath, stood up, brushing dirt from his knees. He wasn't confrontational by nature, but the sting of betrayal by a stranger no less lit a fire in him. You did that on purpose, he said, his voice low but firm. Karen scoffed, doubling down. You're lucky I didn't call the cops for endangering me. The crowd's boos drowned her out. Someone shouted, check her phone. Karen clutched it tightly, but Mia, quick and fearless, had already screenshotted Karen's own recording, which clearly showed her deliberate act. The twist came in the form of Mr. Delgado, a quiet park regular in his 70s, who shuffled forward with his cane. He'd been watching from a bench, unnoticed by Karen. His voice, soft but steady, cut through the noise. I saw her plan it, he said. She waited for him to come back around. I've seen her yell at kids, dogs, anyone who gets too close. This wasn't about Spacey, it was about control. The crowd gasped. Karen's facade cracked. She hadn't realized anyone had been paying attention to her patterns. Mr. Delgado's words carried weight, his calm authority exposing her cruelty in a way no viral video could. The police arrived, summoned by a bystander. Karen's protests grew frantic as they reviewed Mia's footage and her own damning recording. Ethan, still shaken, declined to press assault charges, but the city slapped Karen with a $12,000 fine for public endangerment and disorderly conduct. The news spread like wildfire, with headlines branding her Park Karen. Online, she was a meme, a cautionary tale of entitlement gone wrong. But for Karen, the real punishment wasn't the fine, it was the isolation. Neighbors avoided her, co-workers whispered, and her inbox overflowed with hate. She'd wanted control, but now she was a pariah. Ethan, meanwhile, became an unexpected symbol of resilience. He didn't want the attention, but Mia's video sparked a movement. People shared stories of their own Karen encounters, exposing petty tyrannies in parks, stores, and streets. Ethan used the platform to advocate for kindness, urging others to choose empathy over anger. He met Mr. Delgado for coffee one day, learning the old man had been a civil rights activist in his youth, quietly observing the world's injustices from park benches ever since. Their unlikely friendship became a quiet counterpoint to the chaos Karen had unleashed. Karen, alone in her apartment, watched the world move on without her. She replayed the moment in her mind, not the trip itself, but the second she decided to act on her rage. She thought she was right, that Ethan was a threat, that the world needed her to enforce order. Now, staring at the fine notice on her table, she felt the weight of her choices. The park, once her domain, was now a place she avoided. The irony was bitter. In trying to control others, She'd lost control of her own life. The story of Karen and Ethan wasn't just about a viral moment. It was about the cost of unchecked anger and the power of community to hold it accountable. Mr. Delgado's quiet testimony, Mia's quick thinking, and Ethan's restraint showed that justice doesn't always come from courts, it comes from people choosing to stand up. Yet the story leaves a lingering ache. Karen wasn't born a villain. She was shaped by a world that rewarded outrage, where personal slights felt like existential threats. Her fall was deserved, but it was also a tragedia life narrowed by her own choices. What do you think? Was Karen's punishment fair? Or does her story reveal a deeper flaw in how we handle public confrontations? Share your thoughts on justice, accountability, and the line between right and wrong.